Hi, welcome to another Tech Talk Monday. My name is Vicki Brenner. I'm a library technician with Oxford County Library, and I'd like to share with you today some information about our new library catalog. Oxford County Library is going to be transitioning to a new library catalog. It'll look a little different than what you're used to, and that will be happening as of January 1st. Actually, you can log in right now, and we're going to go through that process of what it looks like to use our new library catalog. And to do that, I'm just going to share my screen with you today, and I'm going to walk you through how to log in to what is known as Bibliocommons, which is our provider for sort of the back end of our library catalog. So I'm just going to share my screen right now, and we can take a look at it. Okay, so we're at the library website. You're probably familiar with that if you're already using our library catalog. And there's some information right here. So if I click on Read More, it will be directed to the new Bibliocommons library catalog. Move me out of the way. So it's going to look a little different, but the features you're going to love because the searching is actually much more intuitive. It's very visual with book covers. It has great recommendations, and it allows a social media aspect, meaning you can connect with library users all over North America and follow them, receive reading recommendations. Oxford County Library is certainly going to be creating reading lists for our users to follow, and you can keep up to date with what staff are reading as well, which is fun. And you can create your own content and share reading lists and recommendations and ratings with other users as well. So an important part of using Bibliocommons is being logged in. And that you'll see always in the upper right-hand corner. So that is where you're going to manage your library account and create your own library settings. So it's a drop-down menu. My library dashboard is a great sort of one-stop shop for managing your library account. So let's click on that. We'll go into my account and sort of see what we can see. Along the left-hand side, there'll be a sidebar that's going to show you your checkouts, your holds, and what you borrowed previously. In the middle, what you'll see is sort of recent activity on your account. Updates, reading recommendations, that type of thing. But as I said, let's look at checkouts and see what that looks like now. On the checkout screen, you're going to see information about your due dates, opportunities for renewal, opportunities to place some of these titles on bookshelves, which is sort of an easier feature with Bibliocommons. You can save books for later, like this little drop down here. I can save it for later. If I've come across this title, but I don't have time to read it right now, that's an option. You can use the For Later bookshelf to revisit that title in the future. So that's a little bit about what your checkout screen will look like. It's going to give you information about when your items are due. The hold screen will give you updates about whether your on holds are in transit, which is a neat little feature, opportunity to cancel. And it will rank them in terms of when you may expect your hold to arrive. So you're number one, I'm number one on these books. And as we go down, I can see sort of what my ranking, I'm number 4 on some of these titles. And again, it'll give you the opportunity to manage your holds and use your shelves as far as for later, that type of thing. Something nice is borrowing history, which has been carried over from our previous library catalog. Your last 2 years of reading has been captured here. And so at this screen, you could use this as an opportunity to rate books that you've read. This is one I just finished. I took the opportunity of doing a rating so I could show you today what that looks like. So once I've clicked on the book title, I'm going to get information like a summary of the title, about the author, that type of things, critical information from publishing sources like Booklist. From the community is where the social media aspect that I mentioned comes in. Once you join Bibliocommons, you're going to be part of a large group of library users that are adding content to help other readers. So there's sort of unbiased reviews, which is great. There's no agenda with probably most of these. So this is one that I've added. So you can just do a star rating, or you can do a comment. The ellipses, the 3 ellipses will allow you to do edits. I can like it. I can like other users. So once I've submitted that, it's going to give me reading recommendations based on either the author or the content of the book, which is great because you can sort of discover new readers that you otherwise may not have. Other similar authors, which is another great way to sort of expand your reading. At the bottom is always the community information, and it gives you opportunities to add content if you like creating content. There isn't much with this title yet because it's brand new. So my rating, that is exactly how you can rate it. You can rate it based on stars. Over on the right-hand side, you're always going to have opportunities to place holds, see the status of the book. It's checked out right now, but we could place a hold on it if we wanted to share it with someone else or read it again. Our search screen, we'll just search a title that probably has a little more content associated with it. I'll just type in one of my favorite authors. See how it's aggregating some options for me once I start typing, and I can see there's my favorite author, Donna Tartt, and that's just in keyword. So I recommend using keyword. It's very intuitive, even understanding words just like movies. It's trying to help users using plain language. You don't need to know library lingo to do searches. So that's certainly an added feature with this new Bibliocommons catalog. So The Secret History. This book's about 30 years old and was certainly well reviewed at the time, and it's built quite a community about and probably has lots of list content too. So we'll just look through this one. Lots of author information, critical acclaim, lots of community content. So again, reviews. This one's denoting this staff that's been created by public library staff. And look at all the lists it's a part of. So going down the rabbit hole of all these lists is so fun because obviously this title is a favorite of mine, and exploring any of these lists might lead to great reads that I don't know about. Some of Donna's other books, similar authors, and the opportunity to create lists. So I've created one here. Just to sort of give you an idea, if you're interested in doing creating reading lists to share with other readers, if you're interested in creating content for sort of a social media, it's very easy to do. They have templates for it. I won't go into it today. Perhaps we can do that in the future. So I've created a list for Gen X peeps like me of some classic 80s reads. So it gives users of this list an opportunity to place holds on these books. You can like it, share it, if you're a Twitter user, Pinterest, etc. In my account settings, it's going to give me notifications when someone's commented on my list or liked it. So that's another fun opportunity if you're into the book world and really want to share your reading experience. So what I'd like to do now is just go back to our account settings. So my library dashboard manages all of this. We'll just go back to my library dashboard. It's also here that you're going to control your privacy settings. So it's always going to be up to you whether you keep any lists, any ratings, any comments to be private for yourself or to share. So that's always going to be under the edit. We'll be able to adjust those settings. Under the gear, so you can publish it just to our library system or Bibliocommons wide. That's sort of where, up here will be our back button that we can get back to our lists. And you'll always be able to edit from that screen as well. So let's just go over login, because this is something that you're going to need to do if you want to use Bibliocommons at home to manage your reading. I'm just going to log out as me. Now I'm just going to show you what the process looks like for you to go through this process. So you'll need to type in your library card number. I'm going to do that right now, including the PIN number that's set up with your card. If you need help with that, reach out to us, myaccount@ocl.net. Call us, call the library, reach out to us on any social media platform that Oxford County Library is a part of. We can help you get those numbers and get logged in. Okay, so I've got my numbers in. I'm going to click log in. So now we have a welcome screen. Let's set up your My OCL catalog account. The prompts will make this an easy process. Continue to account setup. So I have my Atticus Finch. It's prompted me. It's already got my name in there, my date of birth. And at that point, it's up to you whether you add an email address or not to receive notifications. You don't need to. You can bypass it. So we're just going to, if we're happy with this, we're going to continue. Something you do need to do is create a username. You can see I picked Vicky Von Vicky as my username. We'll try Atticus Finch, but I suspect that will be gone. Somebody else has this username. So we'll just use the suggested one. We've got our username created. We just need to accept Bibliocommons terms of use. The next step is just to complete our account setup. So we're going to, it's letting us know that our account is now set up. We can continue and log in as, so it's definitely going through the welcome process. It will ask you to enable your borrowing history. It's always giving you information about how to manage your privacy settings, what's going out there, what you're keeping for yourself only. So these will be something that you'll have to do. I'm going to allow it to keep track of what I've been reading. So the default is private settings, and we're going to save that. Okay, we have our additional settings. You can select your pickup branch for your physical holds right here, and we can save that. Your defaults are always going to be sort of private. So it's in the social media, the community section, that you can make those adjustments and share your content. So it's at that point we can explore our new catalog. And you can see up in the upper right, I am now logged in as Atticus Finch. I can go to I'm at my library dashboard right here. And it's giving me what I mentioned before. Your checkouts, holds, history is in the left-hand sidebar, and in the middle is what's new, what recent changes you've made, what you've been reading, or what you're always going to find in the body of the main screen. There's lots to explore on these sidebars, including what's new at the library. That's something that's always popular with readers. So these are books that are new to us, and you can see the book covers and place holds. Filtering is something that you can also play around with. If I'm a fiction reader, I can apply. So right there, I've limited my content to those suggestions. And it's just as easy as clicking on a cover, discovering that that looks interesting to me, and I'm going to place a hold. Enabling single click holds will mean you don't need to choose. It knows I want to pick up an Ingersoll, place hold. A little pop-up window will always give you extra information about any changes that you make. So that's sort of going to conclude my exploration of Bibliocommons, our fantastic new library catalog. I'm just going to stop sharing my screen. So I invite you to explore that. You can do that right now, even though the library catalog will not be, it's live right now, but our main launch date will be January 1st. But by all means, you can get logged in with your library card and PIN number and choose a username. Those are sort of the 3 pieces of information that you need to get going with our new library catalog. So I hope you explore Bibliocommons. Thank you for joining me today.